Welcome back. Our next guest is an incredibly talented musician who's just released his latest single, Bloody Valentine, and he has brought along a very, very special guest with him. They're joining us from right here in Los Angeles. We're excited to have them. Machine Gun Kelly and Travis Barker are here. How are you, fellas?
What up?
How nice to see you. Now, how are we doing in quarantine? How are we holding up?
I really love quarantine, minus the coronavirus. I'm all about it.
Really?
Yeah.
Me too. I'm best version of myself I've ever been, to be honest.
In what way, Michelle? In what way are you the best version of yourself?
In an ironic way, it's kind of like rehab, right? Like I can't do anything. I can't go anywhere. I just have to sit in my own head and see if I like myself or not. And the work that I've been putting out amongst this quarantine has been my most well-received work yet. So it's like, what a concept.
That's incredible. What about you, Travis? How are you beating the boredom?
I feel like just being able to laser focus with no distractions on music, being at home with the family, it's like, oh, it's the best. I think Kels and I were both in our studio quarantine way before this quarantine, just like making this album like 20 hours a day in the studio, which was awesome. So it was kind of like, I guess we're just doing the same thing, but we're at home.
Yeah, I just FaceTime him 20 hours a day now.
Now, tell me about your relationship. How did this come about? Did you start as friends and then start working together? When did you meet and when did you realize that because you feel like you're an absolute fit to work together?
Yeah, I was looking at this video the other day. It's of me 11 years old listening to this Blink album that just came out, and I was learning the words to What's My Age Again and singing them terribly. And it's just crazy because I met Trav when I think I was 18 or 19. I was still just a mixtape kid. I hadn't put an album out. I wasn't signed yet. And he invited me to a Blink-182 show. Because Travis has always been on like the pulse of like culture as far as who's next to blow, who's doing that. He always has a good ear. And he was always just, I remember I went there, and this is when Travis was still smoking, and we smoked, and I drove home. And it was the worst drive home I ever had, but the best memory I ever made. And then we've been friends for, 10 plus years now. So it's like the first track we actually did together for this new album, which inspired us to work together, was Bloody Valentine. I think I'm okay, excuse me, but when we went back in just ourselves, it was Bloody Valentine.
Now, the album's called Tickets to My Downfall, and it was supposed to come out earlier in the year. You're now going to release it in the summer. Travis, you must be excited for people to hear this record.
Oh, I love this album. I was telling Kels, and I've said it to a few people, like I've invested myself in this album as if it was my own. Like I was so impressed with everything Kels brought to the album, and everywhere I took him and everywhere he gladly rose to the occasion, and I'm just so impressed by him, and he's so talented, and we had a blast doing it. And he got through the very first initiation of me smoking him out 10 years ago. So that was the green light.
Yeah.
Now, Travis, while you're here on the show, there was a debate on Twitter a while back about how you pronounce Blink 182 or 182, or like, can you just, because Mark and Tom, they weighed in on this. This started between myself and one of the writers on our show, because I've always called it Blink 182. That's what we've always called you in the UK. But in America, it's Blink 182, right?
Yeah, I think when we're over there, we're okay with people seeing Blink 182. And in the States, it's always been Blink 182. So I guess it's just like where we're at. Like when we're in Europe or the UK, they're always saying Blink 182. So we just kind of like...
But it is Blink 182. It's not 182, because otherwise you'd say 182.
Yeah, and that would sound really weird.
So you're not going to settle for this. What are the band called, Travis?
So hard, man. I guess because, the way you've just kind of explained it to me, it could be Blink 182. Because Blink 182.
Whoa!
But I mean, 182 is really odd. So I feel
well, that's what I mean. 182 is not right, but I don't know why we're making it an 82.
But I mean, it's better than Blink 182.
But Kelly, you seem like you're passionate about this. What do you think?
Baby Yoda would probably call it 182 Blink. So there's so many different ways to approach the name of this. I'm like a Blink 182. To say the word 100.
We're all in disagreement here.
Well, listen, I'm so thrilled that you're both on the show. Thank you so much, and you're going to perform for us right now, and I'm so excited that you're going to do this.